Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for this time. You have this new love card and this challenges and achievement card, so there definitely could be love coming in for you. With the Two of Cups here, if you're hoping for a new connection, there could be a new connection coming in here. This could be a person you already want to marry right here for some of you. Obviously, that's not going to be true for all of you, but, you do have the Hangman showing up here, so that's pretty good. And you also have that challenges and achievements card. So some of you, the Ace of Swords, is always above the mountains on the Ace of Swords card. And the Ace of Swords can represent like overcoming a challenge and having a victory because the sword is above the mountains. You have the Chariot, which is like feeling like a winner, feeling victorious. So, there definitely could be some sort of victory or win coming in for you at this time. Or, I kind of feel like this is something that you have been working on for a very long period of time that you're having a victory with. It's like some sort of breakthrough, although I don't think it's like really a breakthrough. It's like you're discovering something that creates progress. And mostly I say that because we go Ace of Swords, Six of Swords, Chariot. That, to me, is significant progress in your life. It's like sometimes, I think we learn things that really make all the difference, and, that could be the type of breakthrough you're having. You have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is usually a person who's different than your usual type, which everybody has been getting for a long time now. We had major cycles in the astrology and a while ago, mostly having to do with Scorpio. And, I think that has caused a shift in connections. And, obviously these shifts take time to develop. So you might be saying, well, I still don't have love even though that happened before and it doesn't really matter. Those shifts take time to develop. So, like I said, I think everybody is kind of like discovering that they maybe need to pick a different type of person or choose a different type of person or whatever the case may be, but definitely could be a strong connection. Usually with the Two of Cups, we start with communication. This right here is a staff of Hermes, which represents Mercury, and it represents communication. You also have the Ace of Swords as well, which is also communication on top of that. I think all of you should be communicating with your higher self more. You have the Hierophant showing up in the area of what's on your mind, and the Hierophant communicates with heaven and earth. He communicates with both sides, so you could be getting a lot of messages at this time. Sorry, my dog's barking. And, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but anyway. Two of Cups can represent you and your higher self, and so I think you need to, kind of communicate with both sides. Your crossing energy is the Justice card. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross, and Justice is cause and effect. Justice is really paying attention to cause and effect. And so, it's about, if you give to something, do you get something back? And if the answer is no, then usually we have to make a change. I always say that we don't have to break up, like if we meet a person, right, and we give a little to them and they don't return what we're giving. We don't have to break up with that person because maybe we're just not communicating with them in the right way. But, I do tell people, like with the Justice card, definitely pay attention. Like, if you're giving and they're not giving anything, it should definitely, put your antenna up and pay attention to what's going on and communicate. And if they change, then great. Then you found a good person who's willing to communicate and willing to put in the work. If they don't, then you should leave, right? And so Justice says we have to pay attention to cause and effect. You have the Hierophant in the area of your thoughts or what's on your mind, and the Hierophant, again, communicates with both sides, heaven and earth. And I feel a lot of you, I do feel this is asking you to tap in. I feel like it's asking you to create time where you, listen to the universe or where you pay attention to signs, symbols, synchronicities, things that are coming in for you. And I would really just pay attention. With that, I would also say that it is definitely a time where you should think outside the box. The Hierophant is a card of thinking inside the box, but we have Pluto in Aquarius, which is going to be very innovative. So I think anything you can do to think outside the box is going to be extra special and extra helpful for you. So I would be doubling down on that energy. Next in your foundation, you have the Ace of Swords, which is great. Ace of Swords is a victory or an achievement or success. It can also represent overcoming obstacles because the sword is above the mountains here. The Ace of Swords is also about balance. We have these 6 golden yods here, and they're in perfect balance. The sword also is in perfect balance on both sides. So for a lot of you, there is something about balance popping into my head here. It's also kind of funny to me that, we have an olive branch right here and a palm over here. It's like kind of saying to me that, there could be something that's very complementary to you entering into your life. But it's like, dark and light. It is like the sun and the moon. I feel that, if this is love, for example, I definitely feel you could be attracting someone who is like very different. But at the same time, I feel like you complement each other very, very well. It's like, the masculine and the feminine, the two. But I feel like both energies are very polar, if that makes sense in my head. That's how I'm seeing it with this card. It's like there is no ambiguity. There is no in-between energy that I'm getting off of this card. So if you're attracting a person, definitely something to pay attention to. But it could work. You could really balance each other out, and that's kind of the energy that I'm getting off of the Ace of Swords. This could also be true for anything that you are working on. Again, there's something about like there's no in-between energy. I really wish I had a better way of verbalizing that for you here, Aquarius, because it seems like in my head it's seeming very, very important. And like, I don't know if you're taking this as like a warning sign that you shouldn't do something, or, if you're just thinking that things are too different. And I'm talking about like in work or business here or something you want to accomplish. It's like maybe you have a business idea, but it's like you're over here and what you want is way over here. It's like I just get something about that on this card. And I'm going to move on so I don't keep babbling, and we'll come back to it when we clarify. Next, in the area of your past, this is the energy that you are moving past. You have the boundaries card, this Pisces card. It says, set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. Justice, you give a little, wait for them to return the favor. If they don't, communicate. If they fix it, great. If they don't, move on. You have this entanglement card. It says, if you realize that you're in an entanglement, it may be time to move on or take a break. So some of you, again, this is coming up in your past energy, so some of you maybe have already moved past an entanglement or you've learned how to set appropriate boundaries. What I think it is for you, Aquarius, is 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is having a very clear vision on everything that you want and desire in your life. I always say 10 of Pentacles, amazing card, but we don't just get it. This is building, leaving a legacy. It's something that we have to do and work on for the rest of our lives. This requires effort. I kind of feel this was your vision. And so if you left an entanglement, but you could have left anything, you could have left a job, or maybe you quit a business, or, whatever in the past, I think that you, Aquarius, realized that whatever this entanglement is or was did not match your vision for your life. I just feel the 10 of Pentacles is talking about you having a vision on what your ultimate life would look like, and something didn't match in the past. And I feel you have kind of released it or are letting it go. Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this card that says balance, spirituality, and practicality. Justice is balance. Ace of Swords is balance. So yes, you have this new moon eclipse. It says expect a powerful change. You go from the 6 of Swords to the Chariot. Both cards are cards of moving on or moving forward, and we'll definitely talk about that. So there clearly could be a powerful change that's coming in for you at this time, or you're kind of like moving on to calmer shores. So also in the area of the very near future, you have the 6 of Swords, which again is kind of like moving on to calmer shores. The 6 of Swords is a powerful change because this woman and the child in the boat, they have nothing on them but the clothing on their back. They are bringing nothing with them across the choppy waters. They are completely moving on, and that's it. So they are having a complete fresh start on the other side, and a lot of you could be having a fresh start, or you could be entering into a new environment with the Chariot, which we are definitely going to talk about in a minute. But I feel a lot of you could be moving forward now. It's not true that they are bringing nothing with them. They have these swords in the front of the boat, and the swords kind of represent the lessons, the spiritual lessons, the things they've learned. And so they are bringing the knowledge and wisdom with them across to the other side. So if you're starting something new, anything new, period, then you can use your knowledge and wisdom that you have gained. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this flow card and this record card. Yeah, the record card says it's important to pay attention to the results you're getting in life, so that you know what's working and what's not working. The flow card definitely says you could be entering into a nicer flow, or things are kind of flowing for you in a better way. And I kind of feel you're just paying attention to the energy. I also think it's interesting that there's kind of like this string that's attached to the moon. The moon, to me, even the moon card in the tarot, even though it can represent fears, fantasies, illusions, all those things, I always say that the moon needs to come down to earth. The moon is your dream that you need to bring down to earth. And so this string is like bringing this moon down to earth, and it kind of is just giving me the 10 of Pentacles. It's like you have seen what you want and now you're creating it, which is good. In the area of the next phase ahead, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel pretty good about this as well. The Knight of Pentacles can be slow, steady progress, but you're making progress, you're moving forward, and that's kind of the energy I get for you here, Aquarius. I feel that you're moving forward, you're taking steps, you're getting to where you need to go, you're doing what you need to do, and that's it. So I feel pretty good about the Knight of Pentacles in general. It feels like a nice pace to me as well here, like you're making good time, right? And that's what I feel. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Nine of Swords. You also have that entanglement card. The Nine of Swords would definitely be an entanglement. You know, the Nine of Swords is a round and round energy. It is an energy of having a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. Now, the Nine of Swords says we have to take control of our situation. There's a person right here hitting another person in the carving on the bed with a sword. I always say, well, not always, but sometimes I feel the Nine of Swords says you can be the bug or the windshield. You can be the person doing the hitting or the one getting hit. And so it really encourages decision-making. And not hitting people, don't hit people, that's bad. But, you know, again, it encourages you to make a decision. I always say this is the worst card in the tarot. And the reason I say that is because he is stuck in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make a change. So it's like, how bad does it have to get before you make a change is what the Nine of Swords says. You can wait all day long until the cows come home, but until you make a change, nothing's going to happen. So I don't really feel that bad in this reading about the Nine of Swords for you here, Aquarius. But I do feel that some of you have left an entanglement which could have caused pain. I also feel it's time for you to take control. And we also kind of see this with the Chariot. The Chariot is the card of heart control in the tarot, meaning he is really taking control of his destiny or his future. The other point of the Chariot is that he is leaving the city behind. He is leaving everything he's always known behind to move in a new direction. And I feel a lot of you could be moving in new directions, or you could be thinking about moving in new directions with the Chariot. The Chariot, like I said, is about taking control by being in alignment with what he wants. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and he is trusting that these two sphinxes, which represent the mysteries of the universe, are going to bring him in the right direction. I feel because you have a vision. The Ten of Pentacles is your vision, apparently. You know, when we have a vision, we can work backwards, we can get into alignment, we can adopt the habits, we can do the things, we can learn about the things that we want. We can do all of that, and when we do that, we're creating the energy of the thing that we want, and then the universe will bring us there. But we have to trust. There is no wavering in how he feels about what he's doing. Meaning that if he wants $10 million, he isn't always thinking, I don't have $10 million. He is thinking he isn't thinking about anything. He's giving it up to the universe, and he is just maintaining the standard and the habits in his life that will get him to that place. And he's never worrying about not having it. So we can't go both directions, we can only pick one direction, and that's it with the Chariot. And then we will have a victory. Your outcome is the Ten of Cups, which is amazing. You know, the Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty. It's also happy home, happy family, really good for love if you want it. So I feel there's probably a lot of happiness coming in for you. You know, the Ten of Cups encourages us to focus on happiness as well, so I would definitely be doing that too. But let's see here, Aquarius, what we get for you. With the Two of Cups and the Justice card, you have the Devil. There definitely could be some sort of entanglement that you were in right here. So a lot of you have learned a lot, clearly, maybe based off of a past connection or based off of a connection that didn't work. So this here as well, with the Six of Swords, could be saying it's time to set yourself free from an entanglement. With the Hierophant, you have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, to me, is planting seeds in a direction. He is giving to one person, not the other. So he's giving to energies that he feels are right. You know, again, he's paying attention to cause and effect. If I give to this person, do they give back to me or not? And this doesn't even have to be people. This could be anything that you're doing in your life. You really need to pay attention to cause and effect and what's working, what's not working, and then kind of go from there. And that's what I would do with that card. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Six of Swords again. Again, moving on to calmer shores is clearly going to lead to a victory. So there could be a big victory or a big success coming in for you if you're moving on from something. The Six of Swords also, you know, like we said, you have several cards now that would represent an achievement or a success. So you could be moving on to calmer shores in the sense that you're having a big success. In the past, you have two cards with the Ten of Pentacles. You have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands kind of says, what are you waiting for? Like, you could have the Ten of Pentacles much sooner if you would get out onto those boats in the ocean and make things happen. The Seven of Wands is a card of boundaries. And again, with all this entanglement stuff, the devil, all this other stuff we talked about, I feel a lot of you have learned how to set proper boundaries. I also feel like you have it's like crabs in a bucket. You know they say crabs in a bucket. If a crab tries to escape the bucket, all the other crabs pull the crab back into the bucket. And I kind of get that energy here where it's like you have learned who the crabs in your life are. I feel like you have learned who are the people that are creating entanglements or dragging you back into the bucket. Definitely something I would pay attention to. I do feel like some of you could still be dealing with, and this could be in work. By the way, you could still be dealing with a person who is kind of clouding your potential or holding your potential back in some way. And they might not, I don't feel like this person is overtly toxic, but again, if you're working with a person and they're keeping you stuck in whatever it is that you're working on with that person, and it's not going anywhere, I'm pretty sure I said this to you in your last reading as well, but I just get this feeling of being stuck in something with a person and it's just not going anywhere. And so if that's you, I would be very careful. With the Six of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Brighter opportunity, right? I feel like this is brighter horizons, or something like that popped into my head with the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel a lot of you could just be moving on to bigger and better things, moving on to improvements. The Ace of Pentacles is always just an opportunity that has potential. But, clearly we go to the Chariot here, also the Knight of Pentacles. So this is probably something like an opportunity that you're going to be working on for months to come, and I feel it'll be very good. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Five of Cups. Things are going to be different. You and Leo need to realize that things are not going to be the same as they were. So you and your opposite sign, right? He is grieving the loss of these three cups here, and he's sad that he has lost his taste for wine. Even if he got wine, he wouldn't enjoy it any longer. So he needs to realize that there are two cups behind him that have something different inside of them. And when he turns around, he sees this bridge and this castle. I think this is about realizing that we are in a time of change and we have to change. And, our old story just isn't going to cut it any longer. So I would embrace the new story, embrace new opportunity as well. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords, which is pretty good because this could say that you are seeing clearly in your life, like where you have been stuck or where you have been held back. And, that's like half the battle, seeing what is causing our problems in life in the first place. When you see it, you can fix it. So I feel for a lot of you, you're seeing at least what is holding you back. With the Chariot, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, much better teamwork energy. And, sometimes I feel with the Three of Pentacles that we need to be the one that is taking the lead. He is ultimately the one who is getting the credit for the work that he has done from these two people. These people have come in a support position. It's almost like, for some of you, someone is trying to dim your light or someone wants to be number one. And I don't know, this is a very weird message, but I just have to say it. So again, if you're working on a project with a person, it's almost like they're the one that wants all the credit, even if you don't see it. I think if you think about it, you will see it. And I feel like whatever this is, it is really kind of holding back your true potential. So I would be very careful of giving time, effort, or energy to things that are holding you back, because I think you're meant to be seen. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Hermit. Can't make that up, that's for sure. The Hermit has the star in his lantern. I always say that the Hermit needs to shine that inner light. He needs to step into the light, or he needs to open that lantern up and blast what makes him special all over the place. So it is definitely not a time for you to be introspective. I think it is a time for you to shine bright. Really, that is what this reading is saying. So I would make sure that you are shining your inner light here. You have this firecracker card. Says excitement on it. Definitely could be a lot of excitement. Again, it seems like happier times just in general, so you could just be feeling more positive. You have this pineapple. Says reconciliation on it. This does not mean a person is coming back from the past. This card is like the universe reconciling with you. So again, if you've been feeling left out, or if you feel like you haven't been getting the results you desire from life, you could finally be getting results for the work that you've already done, and that would be good. You have this handshake card. It says a meeting with a stranger could be important. Yeah, it's really weird. There have been a lot of readings in this period with just a lot of stuff about people in general. So I would be entertaining new connections, not just love. I'm talking about all connections in your life. You never know. You might meet someone who's very special. You have this ring card. It says a marriage will take place either in romance or business. Yes, if you're attracting love, it looks very good. But again, this could also be very good in business. And I think what's important here is that you're finding a person who supports your vision. Your vision is clearly very important with this reading, with that 10 of Pentacles showing up in the past. I feel that card is just saying Aquarius's vision, that's it. That's all I get off of that card. So I feel that's what you're committing to, and you're finding people who support it. Finally, you have this Vine card. It says seek out information that will help you. Yes, it's an amazing time for educational learning. You have the Hierophant, which means he is the educator. So the more you learn, the more you earn here, Aquarius. But this looks really good, so thank you for being here and definitely enjoy this time.